Doggies. Hopefully good. Hopefully I can see it all, man. All right, all right. Running low on plates. Anybody who views this, hello, hello. All right, I went with an orange underpaint, as you can probably tell. Up. There we go. All right, all right. And we got in the back. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be a little face right here. Like I said, didn't have a lot of time. I'm kind of late coming into this. Trying to get rocking and rolling earlier. I got busy. Well, here we are. Another fine day painting. Anybody who does tune in or later goes on and watches it, hello. I hope you personally are having a good day. And if you do view this, I don't care for a second or 30 minutes. Thank you very much if you do take a view of it. We're oil painting today, so we are going to go with basically whatever colors we can go with. We do have some blue still, so I don't know. I'm a sucker for a blue sky. What kind of blue are we working with? Some ultramarine here. I mean, it's limited. I know what we're going to do. Bam, right there. We'll put a little blue on here for our little palette. Sugar, man, sugar. I know we got some white, yellow here. White. Oh, man, doggies. Come on, where you at? I see you. Sorry, buddy. This time of year, you start getting little spiders crawling around, centipedes down here. You know, so sometimes you pull something, you look like, oh, doggies, but I'm just looking for some white guys. And this really is, I mean, I know I've said before, like, man, this is going to be the last painting, and this really, like, now I am coming down to, like, the bare minimum of painting, so, supplies. So this one is, I mean, who knows after this. Man, it's so much fun, though. It's just, I don't know, anybody who's done art, painted, especially, like, oil painting is just, yeah, we're really going to try to get a light skies just so we have kind of a light background to work with. And just because of our colors, man, blue's scarce. We do have a lot of yellow, man. We got yellow. And anybody joining, like I said, I always underpaint the paintings. I went with orange with this one, so I just feel like it's going to kind of pop. It's still a little wet, which is fine. We'll make it work. Now we got to look at, that'll be fine there. A little bit of, I was hoping, Prussian blue. So darken it up here at the top. Some of these areas just kind of to maybe like, man, what's going on up there? Bring it down here in the middle, a little bit over there. We're going to be good on that. Prussian blue. I love using Prussian blue for shading and just other things throughout the painting. I mean, I'm a big Prussian blue guy. I wish I really, and I say this a lot, but green, man, green. We'll make it work. We'll figure out how to make this thing pop. Trying to think for the houses. I'll try to keep it in focus this time because I know like last time I did one of these, painting ended up scooching way out. So that's a good way for me to get my paint out. I usually just put it on the ground, step on it, and then you can really kind of, and so I also use, whenever I paint, I break off the back of the brushes, as anybody who's seen me paint knows, and I can use these just to, we're going to have to go right in here, scrape out some of that excess paint, when you're really down there and you're like, doggies, I need it. All right, that's going to work for up there. I'm thinking for like the grass, we're gonna just do like a bright, like kind of a bright yellowish white, a little bit of brown just to kind of dull it, shade it. And for the rooftops, we're gonna go. Yeah, we got it. Orange, and red. We're just gonna kind of do some different shades of the red, so it'll just. So like this one back here, it'll be a darker red. And this one over here, just underneath, will be a little darker. Otherwise, I'm going to try to use some bright red for that, and same with the orange. And anybody who's tuning in, forgive me if I was late doing this. Man, I was planning on getting on doing this earlier, but I got busy. All right, so there's that bright red I wanted. We'll kind of go on this side now. Yeah. Maybe just a touch of red right down there, just to bring our eyesight, kind of keep it on a straight line. All right, what are we doing for time? I'm really aiming for 30 minutes, man. I'm really going to try to do it this time and not get caught up. That way, anybody watching, if they are watching, they kind of know a time frame. Like, all right, dude, we're going to do it in 30 minutes. Cool, let's see it. Doing orange, a little bit there, and then we'll get a little bit something else there. We got to figure out colors for the houses. Mm-hmm. And this is my quick way of painting. Again, this is the quick way. I do have another way where I put it on a palette and I kind of work off a palette. It's just that takes a lot longer. And same with paintings with fine detail. Obviously, I'm trying to do quicker ones here just because to finish up the supplies. And anytime I do them on here live, again, as I was reading the statement, I'm not trying to sit on here for 3 hours. Yeah, so the goal of 30 minutes. This house is going to be white over here. I think this one. Oh, yeah, that'd be nice. We'll try to do a light blue on this house if we can find we just need a touch of it. We don't need much on this one. And then that one over there. We can get a gray. I think a gray would be nice. So this one we just need a touch of blue. What was that here? Townies. Well, green works. Figure out because we got some trees in here that are going to be sprouting up, so got to leave a little room for those fellas. Like right there. A little right there. A little bit of this green for some bushes. We're gonna do some bushes right there. And since we got the green out, this one. Oh, and if anybody asks, like, what kind of tubes, man, I'm gonna show you. I always try to get stuff locally. My problem is, like the Hobby Lobby here, this is like the size they sell oil paint, and for me, it's like, so they do sell white. So I always do buy my white from Hobby Lobby. I buy my canvas from Hobby Lobby. I buy my wood from Menards. I mean, I always try to get stuff locally. Unfortunately, a lot of the paint I would have to order on Amazon just because, again, no place in Marshall here has any. And it's like, well, always, I'm not going to buy those little things and just, uh-uh. What are we looking for? What are we looking for? Some gray. Tell me we got some gray. I think this is yellow. All right, we are going to need some yellow, so let's figure out this. Maybe some right there. Oh, got to figure out some highlights here. All right. See, I like this. Man, at least I'm kind of getting better at this where I can read stuff, see stuff. Hello, appreciate it. My dream would be like, if I could figure out a way to get like a camera here, like pointing downward. That's my goal in time if I ever keep YouTube going and I can ever like monetize on it and really do stuff with it. Cause that'd be fun to have like, boom, where people could look at it right here. And then maybe just a smaller camera and you could just, mainly people could see the painting, so it'd be like, oh, watching it as it goes. But I suppose that all comes with time if it's meant to be. Oh, I thought I had gray. I think this is gray because this house right here is just going to be a little kind of like what's going on, man. That one's going to be like that. This is going to be the shadow right there for that one. We are going to have to use some gray for this path here, kind of a sidewalk path. Boom. Boom. Right there. We got that. Where you going, man? All right, all right. And then I think this one we're just gonna go somewhere around. That one's going somewhere else. That path. All right. Very hot too, man. I'm over here sweating. I was late because I just got back. My son was like, "Hey, do you want to go down and play basketball quick, just shoot around and stuff like that?" And then of course it always rolls into like, "Hey, do you want to play one on one?" And it's like, all right, all right. So then we do it, and it's like it took longer than expected because what went down there to be like, hey, it'll just be a few seconds turns into it just turns in longer. It always does. So that's my fault on that. I do apologize for if anybody was kind of like, all right, he's going to be doing it at this time or that time because I really don't like trying to make people wait or try to stick to an agenda. We got a little bit of purple here. We're going to kind of snack it in there and up here. So one thing I like to do is some of those odd colors, just kind of throw them in because it just, it traps the eye. I did a critique on a painting recently where there was just some splotches of purple that I love because it just brought the eye in and it was like, oh, dang, oh, you got some different shades of blue. And that's why I think it's fun to look at artwork up close and personal because like a picture never does it justice. I would love, I know I never will, see some of those famous paintings up close and personal just to see like, and I like to touch paintings. Unfortunately, I'm sure with those, like, no, man, you can't be doing that. All right, some blue for this house. And then we're just going to go blue right there. And a little bit over here just because. Yeah, I like that. And then tippy top right there. The Mona Lisa, though, that's a painting. I've heard of, some people who have seen it. A lot of people are like, kind of disappointing. So I don't know again if that's true or not. And now I guess I really don't, I should retract my words because I really don't have too much of a ambition to go see any art anymore because honestly, my goal was to always get to the point where like, again, my paintings would do the trick for me and they do where I'm like, man, I don't really need to go see other artwork. I know there's a lot of good other artwork out there, but I enjoy critiquing my own paintings, kind of looking at them. Sometimes I'll do it in the third person or be like, oh man, look at how this guy did that, just for the fun of it. All right, we need to get this yellow going. We need to get some windows in the houses. Uh, all right, bam, bam, bam. It's gonna work for that. That'll work there. Should get enough there. Come around here. And hopefully that works for that. I still need some yellow. I need some for the windows, but I'm going to try to get a little lighter yellow here. Like this one, just real kind of pale. Nothing real amazing going on. Just to show that, hey, there's a little action here. Right there on that one. I think we're good. All right, all right. That one's got a step. We need a door there. All right, now we're rolling into some brown. Dark brown here. That's a door. That's supposed to be a door. That represents a door. That one don't need a door. This one we're not. It's kind of tough right there. And then we got to think trees. This one goes like that there. Where's the other one? This one seems to zigzag that way. And maybe we'll have one way back there and one here. One there. I'm going to have to do something here. All right. Put some brown on the palette. I want to do something different in this spot right here. I don't know yet, though. Might try to snaggle some green. Oh, maybe this guy right here. That's going to work. That'll do it. It's going to give us a nice color there. Now I got to figure out some green for the trees and the leaves here. Shoot. Here we go. And this tree just keeps going up, 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 and over. That's nice. That's pretty. And this one, kind of the same deal. Man, just a little bit more green if we can find some. I think we got a winner. Because this one, we got boom, boom, that green. So we're going to get some there. And then we'll get the brush out. Ego. Shoot. Right there, right there, right there. Dig some out of this guy. So, any other? All right, we're going to hope this kind of works. I need to get some green in there for some bushes. Hopefully this will work. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. In front of this house here, it's like, bam, got a line of bushes. And then we need to get some white, and then we'll start painting some white for the sidewalk here. But yeah, I mean, the view would be huge because if people could be looking at it downward, I just think it'd be a lot more entertaining for anybody who watches, you know, these, or even for myself when I rewatch them, because I hate to say it, I do rewatch them. I have fun. I'm like, oh, it's fun to just see a different angle um, of painting for me versus, you know, me seeing it this way versus like, oh, okay, okay. So, green, man, green. And I know I can mix colors. I hate mixing colors, and I don't really have a lot of blue. I do have some yellow, but I don't have a lot of blue to even mix anyway. So it's like, I'm just shy on, like I said, I'm just burning out the last of the paints I have. And, you know, once I sell a bunch more, which I do have faith that a bunch will sell here, like a good amount. Or again, as I reiterate, if I could ever figure out how to monetize on here, figure out a way to get money, man, then I could be like, hey, I can paint all the time. The other thing I would like to do, and I've talked about it before, I would really love to figure out a way to do like do some painting giveaways. You know, like, oh man, I'm gonna give this painting away, or after I do this one, and then just, you know, pick people who watch and be like, guess what, man, you won the painting. I'll mail it to you. And then they're like, what? Cool, I got a painting. So something I think about, you know, and if it works out in time, awesome. If not, it's something I think about. All right. Gotta get this house here, a little bit of that, that in there, that there, and we are gonna be ready to chip, man, chip at it. How we doing for time, man? Good? Okay. All right. Might get a little spotty, but nothing wrong with that. Trying to figure out what brush I want to use. I want to use, start with a number 8, man. That's the biggest brush I ever use, is a number 8. Biggest brush I've ever used. I used to, and anybody who's watched before me knows this, I used to always just paint with a number 2 shader. I mean, that was it. A number 2 shader. And it was just, man, those paintings were detailed. It took a long time. As I always say, though, this has been way more fun painting. This stuff. All right. let's get into it. See what kind of adventure we can have. Where is it, man? Where is it? Blue, come on, man. I need green. Green, man. Oh, anybody got any green? Oh, thank you. Hey. Look at that. We'll make it work. Well, what do we got here? Tell me it's green. No, it's not. It's blue. Some sort of blue. How are we looking on time, though? Doggies, man. I'm running late here. I'll get it. I'm running late. You have to give me like 10 minutes. 10 minutes. All right. Hi, hey, green. All right. Now let's get at it. And get it done. So again, we're starting with the number 8 brush and just going to go at the sky. That's usually what I like to start with. I'm trying to calculate if I want to start with the darker end or the lighter end. Let's go here. All right. And when I used to paint, it used to just be like this with a number 8 brush, or number 2. And I would just go the same direction and just kind of, it was now it's, again, more fun. I mean, still at times I'll do that, but usually I just, especially for these things, like, man, let's get in there. Let's get at it. And the other thing I always say is when it's well planned out, like when you kind of have it thought out in your head, it really helps if it's kind of like envisioned. And that's where with this one, all of a sudden this idea, I was like, oh man, it just kind of hit me. I was looking at the blank canvas and then I was like, man, that's what I want to do. So I quickly drew it out on a back of like a piece of an envelope or something, and then put it on here and was like, man, this would be nice. I hope. If it ain't, well, it ain't, right? Going around the trees. All right, now we're going in this darker part of the sky here, kind of spread it out a little because it's like, man, we'll see what effect it gives. Will it look like, man, storm coming around, or just like, hey, it's a darker sky, that area? All right. Then put that up a little bit of white in there just to. Oh, okay. We're gonna leave it like that. I like that. Got that. Bring that there. That's gonna be dark in there. We're gonna go right into this house. Add a little shading there. Look out for the window. Bring that down. I would like a number 4. A number 4 now. Now I got a number 4. Now I'm going to go in and do these windows. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. And let's get to the roof. I'm probably past I'm past my 30-minute mark. Doggies. Well, the guy tried, didn't he? Oh, no, 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 no. We'll talk music again because I enjoy talking about music. Um, yeah, music, it's just fun. I know I don't think anybody's watching, so that's fine. I can ramble to myself. I still, man, I mean, I'm looking. I know people listen, but I still am searching for the music fans, people who really. I mean, again, I know people listen to it, but I know there's a lot more out there. And I mean, that was my whole purpose of YouTube. Like, it was music, and then I was like, oh man. I mean, I used to have my stuff public on here, but I just did push it, and I didn't have any. It was just for myself, and that was fine. Then I was like, um, a lady I work with actually, Janelle. She's the one who last year sometime I was like, yeah, yeah, I love making music. She was like, you make music? And I was like, oh, yeah, I kind of make music for myself. And she was like, I would like to hear it. And I was like, all right. So I was like, man, I got it on YouTube. Go check it out. I was not expecting her to like it. So I give her a lot of credit because she listened to it. The next day, she was like, John, I really like your music. And I was like, what? And I was like, you do? Because I just, and that's why I never try to be judgmental on who's going to like music or who's not, because you never know. Um, and she was one of those, I was like, I did not expect her to. And I was like, dang. So then I was like, well, if she likes it, man, maybe other people will like it. So I was like, man, let me get on here and really start promoting it because I, of course, love the music. And I still think I go, you can't be that crazy out of billions of people in the world or whatever. So I'm like, I'm sure there's more people out there in the audience for it. So that's what kind of got me going on like YouTube, honestly, because before that it was just a place to put my songs and listen to my music. And then I was like, man, okay, well, if she likes it, I would have never thought she would have liked my music. Shoot, there's got to be other people out there. So that's been fun. I mean, to do that, or just to run into somebody who's like, "Hey, man, I've checked out your channel," and you're like, "What? Dang, I didn't." You never know who does because that's the thing I like about YouTube. You don't know who it reaches. You don't know who watches, who views, who does stuff on there, and I really like that versus just like, okay, I know this is only going to, X amount of people or whatever. So it's one of those things I kind of find fun with YouTube, and just you never know who you'll meet, who you'll run into, chat with on here. A lot of good people, a lot of nice people. Yeah. So that's my talk to myself about why I got on YouTube and how I got so invested in YouTube was because of that. All right, this is the door. Look at that, man. That looks like real wood, man. People looking at that like doggies. We're going to try to brighten that up. Ooh, that house there looks good. All right. Tree. Man. Poor green. Poor green. Didn't have a lot. Just a bare tree, maybe. Who cares, right? Okay. Yeah. Hey, all right. We see you. Ooh, little green here, little green there. All right. Get the brush moving, man. There's that. Ooh, that little bit of purple will jam in here. A little bit of blue here for a bit. Coming down here. hey, that's the door there. We got that. Trying to figure out that's going to be the bushes there. All right, let's get the pavement done, and we'll be on our way. Yeah. So that's, I don't know. And again, maybe my taste is really just that off. That could be because, whew, I mean, every time I put on the music, I'm just like, oh, dang, man, that's good stuff. But again, I mean, people make stuff. They should like what they make. I always think, and if you're learning and like, hey, I just picked this up. I know I'm not going to be the best. That's fine. I'm just learning it, or it's a hobby. But like, for me, I didn't want it to be like that. I was really striving to be like, I want it to be where I love what I'm doing. So that was my goal. I mean, so very, very thankful to God that He's given me this time, this energy, these reasons, these people to do this, to meet, and just people who bought paintings, invested money in me that I could continue to pursue this. I mean, that was huge. So that was a big one. And all the people who have, man, wow, I mean, that's what kept it going, was those people who bought paintings and just were like, here, man, I got some money for you. Here, you're trying to do that. Here you go. Um, all right. I mean, it's coming together. Like I said, it's going to be just we got that red in there. We're mixing colors. Get that green in here, kind of like that. Now we got this yellow. This yellow is going to be hopefully the grass. I mean, that's what we want it to be, kind of like burnt grass. I mean, just kind of like maybe it's a hot summer. Maybe the grass is just yellow there. Oh, get these spots here. Oh, yeah. Hmm. Right through there. We need a little bit of yellow in here, but we can't mix it with the brown because we need people to know what's going on. What's going on over here, man? Ooh. All right, let's quickly get this going. All right, put a little blue. It was a little phthalo blue in here in the middle. I'm just hoping to get a little something, kind of bring that up there. There we go. Yeah. A little bit of white, a little bit of yellow here to come down on this. Ooh, give that a nice streak. Give that house there. All right. We're going to go in with the fine comb and start doing some detail work here. This, there we go. This tree has got to be fixed. There we go. All right, some green. We got to have a little bit more green. What do we got? Man, like 4 more minutes. Dang it, man. So, and get some yellow. Ooh, people get the idea what it is. No numbers to count. there. Splash that. Boom, boom, boom. And this one we got to get. That tree. Need a little bit of yellow in front of this tree. I'm going to turn it around here quickly just so you guys can kind of see it. Yeah, I know. It's like, come on, man. Don't be too harsh on me. We're working. Once I get that outline in here, the black and some Prussian blue, it'll be set. Where's that for? Prussian blue. Green though, man. I see it like a little bit. Come on. Right here. There we will skip on. All right. Green, green, green. Oh boy. Oh, hey. Oh, look at that. Good amount. That should get it. That should get us to the end. Now I need some black here quickly. I think this will work. Black. And we need a little bit of white. We're going to highlight and put the birds in, the dogs. The birds and the dogs. Dogs and the birds. Oh boy. Dogs and the birds. Birds and the dogs. I need some red. I like the. Man, red. I'm going to the. Oh, there we go. Whistling. Light whistling. Some person once, I was at work whistling, and they were like, oh man, the poor man's radio. And I was like, never thought about it that way. But once they said that, I was like, oh man, that kind of makes sense, you know? Like, shoot, you ain't got no radio. That tree's just kind of creeping up there. This house got, people will understand. They'll understand. This red, we're going to kind of leave shanky like this, just to be like, hey, what's going on with that red? That house. Partial window there. Get a little bit of red and just try to outline that. Shoot. This tree we're going to outline with white here. Kind of give it that highlight of like, and then the eye will just pop to it. And I don't think I have to. Ooh, okay. Let's get it on this one. Well, anything on anybody's mind, anything they want to talk about. anything. Okay, okay, okay. History. Where to go? History. History fills me with my thoughts. All right, let's get this house outlined. We're going to be on that home stretch. We don't have to be too exact on this. Try to boom, pat, put in those windows. There's some light in the windows. There's somebody home. Or they left the lights on. Whatever you prefer. If you're like, nah, ain't nobody home, they just left the lights on, that's fine. So we got a tree there. We're going to outline that in black. This one, we're just going to come back on that side with some black. This window. Get this roof here. I love outlining in black because to me it just pop. It makes it pop. So like I'm big on adding some highlights and some outlines because it just for me just it adds what I like. It's a heavy hand. It adds what I need. I need a yellow. We got to put like some yellow right here. Make it look like a window on this door. Let me in, man. Let me in. But they said, no, no. We don't know who you are. You can't come in. But they were like, don't worry about it. Oh, so situations, people want more. Shoot. All right. On the top there, we got a little outline there. We got that there. Let's go like this. Ooh-wee. And then maybe. It's probably when I go and start adding detail, it just takes a while. And that's why, like, when I'm not on here, obviously I can go in and do this more often because, again, I'm not trying to just keep people on here, and I'm not trying to keep these videos too long. Just the songs, man, and just the songs are long. Man, I don't know. 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 What don't you know about, they ask? I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know. I was always, um, I don't know, man. I really thought like I just keep thinking there's more of a crowd for the music. Like, man, I just try to figure out ways to get it out there because I mean the nice thing with music, I'll keep referring to the bad thing, like with these shorts and these videos, it's usually like one and done. You watch it once, it's like, all right, cool, I'm done. I'm not gonna watch it again. Music, people listen to over and over again, and that's why I'm trying to get that wrong because that's one of those like, oh, dude, I want to listen to um, a Pale Old Rider, which is a dope song. Um, Pale or the lone or the Pale Lone Rider or the Rider with No Name or something like that. But it's a song I did a couple months back, and it was actually all about Clint Eastwood, and I just love it because I had to whistle in the background, do the different things from his movies, the little soundtracks, uh, which was fun to do, and it just came together like in my mind amazing because I do like those spaghetti westerns and just Clint Eastwood's demeanor and how he acted in those and just never really said much. And The Man with No Name, yeah. So that song I thought just was like, um, as again on most of them I do. I'm just like, and that's where a lot of times I'm like, man, does anybody ever give this a try or do they listen to this? Because like doggies, if they did, you know, maybe they just hate that type of music, but I'd be like, man, a lot of times, and I hate to say this again, but it gives me goosebumps. There's parts of my songs where I just get goosebumps. I'm like, oh, wow. Um, the Oregon Trail. I think it's like around 21 minutes. One of my favorite parts when I got, 4 a.m., the bugle blow or the gunshot shot. Pop, time to get, then it goes, ooh, and it's time to get up. And I just, how it goes and the little, oh, shoot. So that's why I love long songs because first off, it takes a while to warm up and really get the flow of the song. So you kind of start the first few minutes warming up, getting the feel of it, and then you really pick up the energy and it starts flowing. And I just like getting lost in a song and you know being like, man, all right, and not really paying attention to the time frame or being like, oh shoot, oh well. And I don't like rehearsing stuff. I just like, man, let's see how this works out because I love to just kind of go off the feel. So a lot of times with the songs, I try to get the different instrument sides. I get the instrument side ready, try to go and switch up different spots so I kind of know, and then I just try to listen. And I never really know what's going to happen. And I love that anticipation because it's like I don't know what's coming next. So it keeps me on guard, and I just try to go along with the music. And that's what I'll always come back to. I think the best thing would have been it would have been so much fun to be able to have like a live instrument, like a live band, because you could just man, the solos people could have, and if it's feeling it, it's like, dude, just roll off on that solo. I mean, that's one thing the Doors had on me is they had, Jim Morrison, he had musicians with them, which would be much nicer to have that versus, but hey, I always say at least I can make music. All right, tree there, tree everywhere. We got to get, ha, 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 that's dark there. Boom, 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 boom. Well, I believe coming right up on the end of another so-called it's a successful painting, man. I do enjoy it. As of right now, man, I think it looks good. I just need to put, do I have anything light enough to just trying to get some, there we go. Woo. And, yeah, I think we're going to call it good because, man, that took way longer than I wanted. Well, as always, let's put the birds in, sign it, date it. Not date it. I don't ever date it. Name it. You guys don't name it neither. Untitled, another wonderful title. Untitled, everyone untitled. As people know, I mean, if somebody buys it, they get to name it. That's their joy. Um, like naming their kid or something. Like, I don't know, what are we going to name this? This painting. And I still think it's fun because anybody who ends up with a painting, if these ever do become something, they'll be part of the story because then I'll be like, well, the painting got this name because so and so got it first, either bought it or it was gifted to them or however they got it, they named it. So this is where the painting got the name. It just kind of go along with the story, which I think makes it fun. All right. I just need a little bit yellow, yellow, yellow. Where you at? Just some strong yellow like that to just, all right. Do we have any like white like that? And bring that there, bring that there, a little bit of red there, a little bit more red there. I need a little bit of red, I think, just there to sparkle that up. Perfect. All right, let's get a bird. Bird of prey, flying high. Oh, the Labadoon bird. Labadoon bird. Have you seen the Labadoon bird? Oh man, here we go. We got a few birds. One of them could be the Labadoon bird. Flying in the sky, man. Ooh. All right, let's add a puppy, man. Let's add a dog. And like, man, there we go, out for a nice stroll with his fortified puppy. Puppy ears sticking out, puppy head, puppy paws. Groovy. Let's put a collar on him because I'm big on keeping. Get there. All right, sign it, date it. No, we don't date it, man. Remember? That's right. That's right. No need to date it. All right. We gotta sign the name. Let's go. I want more red. Orange, red. We'll go J. What's the next letter? A. What's the next letter? N. And the next letter is B. All right, there we go. John. And we'll go Munson. Where? Right here? Nah, that looks too. Let's do right here. M. S. Munson. All right. M. S. Q. And we need the last letter N. All right. Well, let me flip it around here so y'all can see it. Anybody who's still left or watching, I don't know. I mean, if you are, thanks. If you tuned in for a second, thanks. I mean, if you subscribe, thank you, man. Oh man, that's what I always say. Those who have subscribed, like a lot I want to do for y'all. People who have, that's right. I still hope, like down the line, I can be like, guess what, man? If you won this painting, I'm mailing it to you or whatever, and they can do what they want with it, or they be like, I don't want that. All right, let's flip it around. See, let's get the critique. I can probably take it, man, if it's gonna be rough. If it's gonna be, Yes, I sell them. Really, right now, I mean, I sell them mainly just really the only place I sell them is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, at L's Gallery. Yeah, I mean, I have. It's just she's got great foot traffic. People come in there, they have great eye appeal. So I always say, like, I know like people will continually buy them because when people see them, and I hate traveling. I really hate traveling. So that's the problem with paintings because they're so big and bulky. It's so hard to be like, hey, I'm going to go do a show here. And I was doing that last year and earlier this year. And it honestly sucks because you pack up a bunch of paintings, you go somewhere, you get it all ready, then you got to go to the reception, then you got to take them down, and you're just at room for damaging them. And like at place in Sioux Falls, I can just leave them there. She lets me set up in the basement, so I have stuff in the basement. So if people are like, man, I want to see more of his work, she can be like, man, go to the basement. Otherwise, I sell them privately. But ever since I got off Facebook, my sales as far as privately went flatline, which was my own fault. I mean, I mean, things were rolling when I was on Facebook. That was, again, I guess a decision that was spur of the moment. And I was just like, I'm going to delete my account. Deleted it. And then I was like, oh, doggies. So now I'm only on YouTube. And, this is my only platform for social media. I'm trying to get more of the word out there because, like, people for Sioux Falls, and she mails paintings. So if people ever want to buy them, I really encourage people to contact her because she has a lot of my paintings. I try to get most of them there because I'm like, that way she can control the selling. So yeah, that's what, but, and I hate mailing stuff. I had an issue once I was shipping some. I mean, it just took forever. So, here we are. Yes, very chaotic in a fun way. Uh, yeah, yeah. All right, let me grab this. I'll take the other look at it, and we'll just post to it here real quick as I'm on my adios. Man. Well, there's a little dog. I mean, again, right there, pop, 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 with his leash. There's the first name. There's the last name in these little steps here. It's supposed to be a tree trunk, and that's where, like, with the white house with the window, another tree, and then obviously leaves up in there. House there, some shadows, and here's the sidewalk. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just a fun, nice piece to look at. And anybody, I mean, I kind of showed at the beginning. The back, I used to do a lot more on the back. One thing I do always do is I always put handprints, fingerprints. I don't know, maybe I just think too far ahead or I think too highly of my stuff. But I'm always like, man, that way nobody ever be able to rip them off or be like, oh man, I got a John Munson. Like, no, hold on, let's take a look here. Yeah, and then people can really research them. And same with making canvases, because when you make your own canvases, people be able to tell and be like, man, hold on, how was this? Where was the wood, the canvas from? So, and like I said, when I made the canvas is part of the art as well. Um, Doggies, but and some of these, I mean, if you get some of those frames, those floating frames, I mean, these things look sharp. But anybody who walks, again, sorry to keep this so long. First off, I had to reiterate, I appreciate anybody tuning in, anybody who has subscribed. Like I said, I can't thank you all enough. So I hope everybody has. I just love that, just that look of it. When it's, oh man, that's why I just like oil paint. Jeez. Yeah. God, that's fun. In the comments, like I said, just man, thank you all. I hope everybody has a wonderful night wherever they're at. I hope down the road I can do more of these things because they're fun to do, and I would like to get a little bit more creative. And as I said, my dream would be to have a camera right here. So why I'm doing it is just a head on, and people can continually like while I'm doing it, they would be able to be like, okay, we can see it in action. So the best I can do right now. Um, yeah, so here's kind of obviously just kind of paintings all around, man. It's so have a good night. Take care, y'all. Adios.